just take, Tanya, can you switch off? Thank you. Before we start, we just wanted to say this is going to be recorded for everybody who's not able to make it now, because it's either the middle of the night or they have other commitments. So it will only be shared within this cohort. It will go onto our private YouTube channel and will then be shared in our social channels. But just so you know, it's being recorded. Tanya, can we switch so that we can see Craig?
The best thing to do would be for people to pin him. If you click on the little 3 dots on top of his name and you pin him, you will have him on the top.
Just have to find him. Let's play Hunt the Craig.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
This is our first interactive game segment of our reunion.
And that way, even if you screen through various participants, he will always remain on the top for you. So
Yeah,
in that way, you can
been
pin
pinned
anybody
before.
you want, and you will always have them up.
Okay, looking for you.
Pearson College. So he's listed as Pearson College.
Oh,
Let me change my
Yeah,
name.
if you're looking for his name, you won't find it.
Ah, there he is.
We found you.
Renana, you made it.
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Okay, Craig, when you're ready, please.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's good to see so many faces, like you say, a wonderful turnout, and a great honor and opportunity for me to be asked to do the formal welcome and introduction, which I'm really happy to do. So yes, a welcome back to dear alumni from years 16, 17, 18, and 19. And a warm, albeit virtual, welcome to each one of you to this special place you called home for 2 years. I was just listening into the chat just beforehand that those of us who are in and around Victoria, Vancouver, unfortunately, we are enveloped in a little bit of haze and smoke at the moment. Otherwise, I may well have tried to risk taking the laptop outside and showing you the director's lawn, the community lawn, and the view, but I don't think you can see much at the moment, so I won't risk it because I probably would lose connection. But the first thing I need to do, as we have always been doing in the last year that I've been here, is making a land acknowledgement. So
You're on mute, Craig.
Craig got muted.
Tanya, you muted everybody.
I think I'm okay now, yeah? Can you hear me? Good. Yeah, so just to make the land acknowledgement that, of course, we're on the traditional ancestral territory of the Shiano Beecher Bay First Nation, and maybe that's a good opportunity, if you allow me, just to provide some context about this. I know that there would have been some efforts made when you were here as students at Pearson to learn about Indigenous culture, but this process and agenda has moved forward rapidly in recent years, and Pearson College is now more intentionally building on the international diversity of the college to specifically focus on creating a community of cultural safety for Indigenous people and to attract more Indigenous students into our community. So we've made a renewed commitment to ongoing recruitment and retention of Indigenous students, developing and adopting an Indigenous village for the vision for the college, and building and following a reconciliation action plan, which reflects contributions from several alumni amongst these cohorts that are here today. So I just wanted to provide that context for the land acknowledgement to show that it's part of some really good intentional work that we're doing at the college. So I've been told by Benoit, of course, who's my main guide in alumni affairs, that you represent a significant portion of the 411 alumni who originally lived as 3 two-year cohorts on campus between 1989 and 1993. So that's something that I was really interested to discover and find out. And I'm delighted, along with Benoit and the whole team at Pearson UWC, to be welcoming you back this time around. And it's a historical occasion for you and for me, and it's both happy and sad, I think for obvious reasons. Selfishly, you are the first cohort that I have been able to form a connection with in terms of being here for a reunion, albeit virtually. So I get to welcome you. It's the first time I've done that. I've been here a year, and this is the first for me. So that's a selfish reason to be happy. But of course, there's sadness because we're not getting to do it in person, on campus, and among the characteristic surroundings that you will all remember and love, the views, the sounds, the smells, which would have made so many memories come rushing back. You know, all of the alumni that I've connected with during my first year as head of college have continually referenced this special magic of the campus, of the place. And I know that it will be with some sense of sadness that we've not been able to do that, but I'm sure nevertheless, it will be a fantastic event and an innovative and, you know, seminal event in doing this amongst your year groups. So as I said, I'm near the community lawn, as we now call it, formerly the director's lawn. And we would normally be able to see the Olympic range and Race Rocks and the forest, and the you would remember the lovely waterfront I can, as well as the slow this year for both myself and for all of us, and a year of firsts. Obviously our first global pandemic. This is my first United World College. This is the first year anniversary as head for me, as well as an anniversary for you guys. But like I said, the first alumni reunion I've had the privilege of being the event for all of us. So, and hopefully strengthening the ties you already have, which we've already seen with this amazing turnout today. Just some other number crunching by way of introduction that may be a useful way in. So between the 4 cohorts celebrating this 30-year reunion, you were between 100 to 105 promising youth representing around 60 countries during that time. So among the total of 411, those making up each 200 student communities represented between 75 to 80 countries. So just to give you a benchmark, since then the college has grown its diversity to beyond 100 nations represented on campus, and becoming more sensitive to identities beyond nationalities, including ethnicity, gender, race, pronoun preferences, religion, etc. Again, as a benchmark, our incoming year 48 student cohort, which will be arriving September the 3rd, will be representing 88 nations. And, you know, like I've mentioned before, this day also happens to mark my personal 1-year anniversary coming in as a new head. I arrived with my family from Singapore. We've been working in Southeast Asia, Hong Kong, China, Malaysia, in IB colleges for that time, and arriving into a COVID reality, much like we've seen for this reunion, where we were immediately on screens. I was on screens with staff, on screens with faculty, and on screens with students. And in fact, I had my first face-to-face meeting with staff in June after arriving the previous August. So it gives you a sense of the challenges that we faced. And also, you know, just to give you a sense of the year we've had, well, we spent the first 2 to 3 months, you know, working with the federal government of Canada, desperately trying to get the restrictions lifted to enable our first-year international students to get in, which they did from around about late October right through to February. So it was a highly unusual year. And we still have challenges this year for our students arriving, but thankfully it will be less intense than the previous year. Okay, enough about me. So I just want to extend the welcome and the thanks. We are delighted that you have responded in such great numbers to reuniting virtually. This one-of-a-kind reunion's legacy will be far-reaching and far greater than simply connecting on a screen. So for years to come, we will remember this reunion as a tipping point, one where technology met ingenuity, and the alum craving to be reunited with each other prevailed despite the pandemic. So may this virtual 30-year reunion begin, and welcome, and I hope you have a fantastic few days ahead. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Craig. That's fantastic. I think when you say, in spite of the pandemic, we've managed to get together, and I sort of hope that we can say that perhaps because of the pandemic, we have allowed ourselves to think differently about the way that we connect. We have tried really hard to make this reunion the most accessible, the most involved and the most inclusive reunion possible, partly because we don't all need to travel miles and miles across the road, or for some of it, sorry, across the world, or for some of us just down the road. And also because it means that we can sometimes combine it with our caring responsibilities, our work responsibilities, and so on, which of course has not always been possible. Could you please use the reactions key at the bottom of the screen if this is the first reunion that you have been able to attend? So use any of the keys, I don't mind which one, but yeah, hands up, exactly. So it's a good few of you for whom this would not necessarily be possible to do it if we were meeting on the shores of Pedder Bay, although I agree that quite a lot of us would still like to be there and smelling those smells and seeing that those trees and so on. But in any case, we are here. Thank you so much for joining us for this session and for this virtual reunion in general. And thanks also to Craig for welcoming us home. It's really good for us to be able to have a connection to the college as well as to each other as we gather in this virtual space. As we said when we announced this series of events, the reunion is virtual this year, but the opportunities for connection and community and creativity are as real and as strong as ever. Your organising committee has been working really hard for a few months to bring together all the elements of this event. And I'm sorry if you've been bombarded with messages on all of the different social platforms. Some of it's just about making sure that the messages get through. We're just going to take a few minutes now to go through a few logistics and to familiarise you with how it's all going to work this week. So first up, Tanya is going to talk us through the programme and the different kinds of activities you can expect.
So there are more than 35 different activities throughout the week and basically around the clock. You can't attend them all, but we will all try to make as many as we can, you know. Remember those 30 years ago when we could stay up all night and then wake up and go to class and then, you know, continue on almost 24 hours? Well, this is your last chance to relive that again 30 years later. This is really encouraging because it also means that many people have stepped up to get involved and in creating this program of activities for our cohort. We really want to thank everybody that has volunteered their time and effort, that has proposed something that they're interested in, that wrote something in a survey, and then we went, you said you wanted to talk about this. How about you come host one session? So thank you all for all of this availability, willingness, and, you know, really excitement at getting together again, you know, 30 years later. And for some of us, anew, right? Being year 16 means I don't know half of the people here, but yet I'm excited to meet all of you. So there are basically different kinds of activities. There are workshops for learning skills like cooking and crafts and conflict resolutions. These will all be recorded in case you can't make them. And as Meg mentioned before, they will be uploaded to the YouTube channel, which we'll share link to on the website, which Hussein will talk a little more about that. So you can watch them even if you can't make it live. There are also some Hangouts without really specific agenda, even though they're themed or they're regional or they're timed for particular times. These will not be recorded, as these will be very, very informal, and it will be more just, you know, an excuse for people to get together, maybe talk about some of the themes that are in there, those that have themes or not. But it is just an excuse for us to get together. So some of them are for a region of the world, trying to time them sort of for dinner time on Sunday so that everybody could, you know, potentially make one of them. But also feel free to join any of the other Hangouts if you're up or awake or insomniac, or you're around and you want to see people in, you know, Asia or Australia or the Middle East or Europe, and you're in the Americas, or vice versa. There is also a very, very neat teenage hangout on Wednesday. So if you have teenagers, encourage them to come. Yes, it might be awkward at the beginning. My daughter is one of the hosts. Amy's son is another host. My daughter speaks English, French, and Spanish. So if anybody, has kids that speak Spanish or kids that speak French, and they're sort of hesitant to come interact in English, she is more than willing to speak Spanish or French and make breakout rooms for people to speak in various languages. So please encourage your kids to come. Teen is sort of very loosely indicated, anybody sort of 10 to 18 or even 21 or 24 can come by if they're interested in meeting others, right? As well, we have some theme hosted discussions about education, identity, COVID-19, neurodiversity, and some more. These as well will be recorded and available for people to listen to, and you can join other sort of non-asynchronous conversations that may be happening either on Facebook or on Discord, as there are specific channels for all of these events. Now, another type of session include people sharing their passion projects. So things that people are really passionate about. We have a really neat one on Orca's communication, which I am looking very much forward to. But also things like a book club and poetry readings and more. So hopefully there is something for everyone, at least. Oh, choir. Yes, we have a choir, right? Virtual performance being led by Kate. So, music as well. There are a couple of sort of non-live events that you can join or things to see. Some of them you have already started collaborating and contributing to, such as the meet and greets, but there are also some other slideshows in the works that will showcase some other aspects of people's lives that will be coming up during the week of the reunion. Now, you will be able to see all of the items in the program on the website, which we'll hear more about in a minute. But the important thing to remember is that this program is still evolving. There's room to add sessions if anyone still has a burning desire to either host an activity, share a passion project, or add something. Most events that are theme will be recorded and shared with you later if you can't make them live, so that you're also able to connect with other people who maybe have a shared interest. So if you're, we'll talk a little bit more about how to organize sessions or extra things in a little while, particularly taking advantage of maybe the last thing we will be showing in this welcome session. But in a nutshell, contact me or Meg, and we'll find a way of publicizing it and where to organize it. So to close up, don't forget to fill out the meet and greet pages. We've decided to create a little bit of friendly competition here between the years for who is going to get the most entries. So even if people aren't here, but you know something about where they are or what they're doing, then fill those in so that we have an idea of where people are and what they're doing. So that's all about the program. Now we'll be hearing about the gala. Kate, over to you.
Hi there. So as Snow so aptly put it in her wonderful graphic designs for this reunion, there's room for everyone in our virtual tent. We're going to have a big tent event when we wrap up the reunion week on Saturday, August 21st. It's a big gala Zoom extravaganza, and the tent curtain will go up at UTC 1400. So that is 7 a.m. Vancouver, 10 a.m. Toronto, 3 p.m. London, 7 p.m. Karachi, midnight in Sydney. You don't have to remember this, it's all on the website. And the Zoom lobby will open a half hour before that for mingling in breakout rooms. So mark your calendars definitely for that one, as well as, of course, all the other amazing sessions in the reunion. This event is going to be a collection of roundups and contributions from the many sessions that we have throughout the week, as well as farewell from Craig and some other little place-held events there, but also wonderful threads and contributions from many of your fellow students, including songs, dances, readings, some surprises here and there. There will even be a quiz, a chance to sing and dance. And some of this will be pre-recorded and shared with you at the time, and others will be shared live from our contributors. And we will also be moving in and out of breakout rooms throughout this session in order to give us more chance to chat with each other and mingle and break up the screen. Massive watching event. If you are leading a session, Tanya and Marinda will have contacted you about how to share material from your sessions in order for us to be able to bring those to everyone's attention during the final gala. But this event is made for us, by us, and comes from us. So please get in touch with me if you feel you have something else to contribute. I would love to just have everybody possible represented here who wants to share something with the larger group. Thank you all, especially to all those who've already agreed, been jostled by me, or volunteered to take part in this part of the event. I'm just going to make a couple of comments now also about Zoom protocols. Some of us have been using Zoom on and off for a while during the past year and a bit. And you might be really familiar with how to use chat and all of the stuff on here, but some people might not be so much. The majority of the events during the week will take place in a dedicated Pearson College Zoom room. Some events will also take place in Zoom sessions that have been set up by individuals on their own accounts. But all of the information, the Zoom links and passwords for all the events will be available on the Reunion's website, Program View link. You just click on the events in the calendar to find the details. When participating, please rename yourself if possible so we can tell who you are. So you can notice that a lot of us here today have put in our name and maybe our year or something like that. That is really helpful when you're looking at who is participating, who is come to your session. In case, unless you want to be incognito, of course. And during, and it's very useful, as we've done today, that you know that if you are not presenting at the particular time, you know where your mute button is and how to use it. I've had some embarrassing moments where my dog or my son has gotten involved in meetings, and I'm sure we've all been there. Also, during the big tent gala event, everyone except the presenters will be mic off and video off. However, there will be a lot of participation available in the chat area, and also some parts of it where people will be able to interact with what's going on. I also just want to say, for those who are not as used to using this, using speaker view instead of gallery view will always ensure you can see who is talking if you want to be looking at them, of course. And yeah, play with your reactions buttons and the chat, everyone. If you're not used to using it, it's worth a try. I'm now going to pass you over to Hussein, who's going to talk about the website and the many delightful things that he has created for us to click on there. Over to you, Hussein.
All right, I'm unmuted. Yeah, so I think hopefully everybody's had a chance to get onto the website to see. It's supposed to be the home base where you're going to see all the information you're looking for. And as others have introduced, I'm wondering, Kate, whether I can actually take over the screen and actually do a bit of a walkthrough of the website. Would that be okay?
Of that vehicle.
What's that? Okay.
I think it's fine.
Okay, I'm going to do it. So just a second. And let me find the website here on this. Okay, so hopefully you've all, hold on. Okay, hopefully you've all been on the website and have seen, we've just kind of kicked this up, and I'm hoping that it might stay alive for a while and maybe host other reunions when they come up over various years. So you'll see that the homepage is for, anticipating other reunions in the future. You go through to ours, and we'll try to keep stuff current so that you can see right at the top of the page what's going on today and tomorrow rather than for the entire week. A couple things that I should probably point out. One, the program view is going to be very helpful. Kate and Tanya were both mentioning some of the aspects that you'll be seeing here. It's important to know this should be showing you the calendar in your time zone. So that's one of the challenges I think we were wanting to make sure, like when we publish something, you know, whose time zone are we using? This should show it to you in your time zone. And if you click on the browse as an agenda, you get a full screen of the agenda. If you click on browse as calendar, you can get a full screen of the calendar in case you want to be able to take a look at it. And you can switch around to week view and day view and agenda view within here. So however you want to see it, hopefully you'll find a convenient way to look at the program. We also have the ability to subscribe to the calendar. Maybe I should have made this a little bit more prominent, but if you are familiar with the way that you can layer in calendars to your own calendar, like in Google, you can put in a layer, you can see the reunion events alongside your own personal calendar if you use this ICS link here. So copy that link and then say add calendar in whatever calendar tool you are using. There are pages, I'm going to go back to the home page here. There are a few pages that we've put a password on. So we wanted to make sure that it was easy for everybody to access the information, but at the same time, too much access means you might get Zoom bombers and other people coming into our meetings and joining our chats that we don't really want. So we've put a light layer of security on top of this, in that if you click through on some of these, you might have to enter the password oneworld, all lowercase, two words, and you will then be able to get through to the appropriate links on the site. I think it'll only ask you to do that once per session. So, but that's just to protect some of these things from getting, you know, attendees that we didn't want. You'll see there's lots of venues we've set up. We've got our Discord chat group, which for those of you that are not on Discord, I would imagine that's probably the one that is not familiar to most people. I think WhatsApp, Facebook are a little bit more familiar. I really do encourage you to set up your Discord channel, because that's going to be our best asynchronous meeting forum, so that you can sort of chat with people on very specific topics without getting spammed in your email, or, you know, the WhatsApp chat can sometimes go hundreds of messages at a time. Discord kind of helps you manage that a little bit better. I'm going to save this little mystery thing here because we've got an announcement towards the end of this meeting, and I'll wait for that reveal. We've also got areas where you can interact. So Tanya mentioned the meet and greet. This is a set of Google Slides that we've created for people to put basically a little bit of a keep in touch light feature. And so this would also be password protected, but when you click through on these, you can edit these PowerPoint or Google Slide documents and add information for others to see. And you can also see what everybody else has been up to. So definitely make sure you take a moment to go and do that. It may save you possibly a bunch of repeated small talk, so you can get back into things that you really want to talk about. And then we've got a Google Photos sharing venue where you can hopefully be collecting lots of photos over the entire reunion period, and then we can see those together. We've got a YouTube channel. Meg had a great idea of creating a Pearson Notes. So we've got actually a Pearson Notes area where you can go in, and it's an anonymous way to be able to just jot notes into a virtual book. We've got a Spotify playlist that I think some people hopefully had a chance to take part in, but it's a good reminder now that we're in reunion period. So just browse through here. There's lots to pick up, and we'll be adding to it all along the reunion. I'm also a request, in case anybody is interested in helping moderate or add content to the website, please do reach out to me, and I'll be happy to give you some access to put some stuff on and help us manage it. So with that, I will end the tour of the website.
Thanks, Hussein. So I recognize that it is quite late for some people and very early for others, but you're just going to want to hang in for a couple more minutes because you're not going to want to miss what comes next. So just last thing about program and the website and everything, just to reiterate, we have programmed a lot of stuff. There is still lots of space, and there is lots of space for formal events and for informal events and anything else. So if you want to advertise some other kind of gathering, if you want to do a Spanish speakers meetup, or you want to do something for people who work in healthcare or whatever, then tell us and we can start to promote it for you. So from here on, we're not going to be doing a lot of the organizing, we're doing more of the promoting for you. Now, we have something interesting coming up, which I want Ruben is going to tell us about, I think.
Yeah. Well, hi everyone. Very nice to see so many faces, and I wish we could actually be together this time. We are very excited to share another way to gather and connect during this reunion and beyond. So GatherTown is a group video meeting destination with a difference. You can combine video chat with exploring a virtual space like a game, but interactive, so you can video chat with others in the same space, interact with others, with objects, and explore an environment. So imagine right now how eager we are to be in campus. We are giving you that option to actually virtually create your avatar and be in campus and meet your friends and have a small conversations campus. And that's actually something nice to do. Via Benoit, we discovered that one of our PC alumni, Nathan, was involved in a company, Gather, and we talked to him about using some of the aspects of this reunion, and he and Benoit spent time and created a virtual PC place for us to meet. So now you can go in and meet people there virtually, and that will be the key thing to do. Meg, you're showing your video, your slide in that case, and she's seeing you literally a small campus view. Benoit is in that particular view, and all of us during the whole week, we'll be able to actually create our avatar, jump in, and meet individuals there if needed, right? This is our virtual Pearson campus. It's really exciting. We actually tried it a few days ago, and we wanted to stay there, right? And so we'll do some interesting tour about it as well. So if you want about the paths, Meg, do you want me to? Do you want to show how the functionality is there, or do you want to share the whole link? Maybe we can make the screen a little bit bigger.
So I think it's the short version of this, and I know that people are going to be interested to get involved in it, is I'm going to share the link in the chat right now. Yeah. And it's essentially, because it's our virtual space, you know the space already. So you can go and hang out in various places. You can go to the residences. You can hang out on you could even do a bay jump if you really wanted to, although it's slightly less refreshing than it was back then. And as you get closer to other people in the space, their video activates, and as you walk away from them, their video disappears. So it's like overhearing people and kind of forming and getting, it works in real space as much as it is in virtual space. The space is going to be open, well, from now for the rest of the week and after the reunion as well. It's open 24/7, and it's going to keep on being there. And new students are going to be using it too. It's a great way to interact with folks in a more casual way. We've already had some thoughts that you might want to just wander around and see who you bump into, or you might want to arrange to meet up with your old roommates in your old room. That can be done. So just before I send you over there, you need to know that Gather at PCUWC is optimized for desktop and laptop computers. It will work on your mobile, but it will not be such a good experience. It is also optimized for Chrome or Firefox browsers. If you have that, it will work in Safari, but it might say to you, hey, you should use a different browser, but you can persevere, and you have plenty of time and opportunity to play with this over the rest of the week. You will appreciate it if you get to use it on a desktop and in Chrome. So I'm just going to wrap it up now. Thank you.
One more thing, Meg.
Sorry.
Just one more thing. Yeah. Some of you may actually have issues when you connect, because you may need to turn off your video from Zoom to actually use your video as part of GatherTown. So don't be scared if it tells you that it cannot connect to your appliances. Just make sure you turn off the video in your Zoom application, and you'll be able actually to then use it in GatherTown.
Yeah, that's a great point. Thank you for that. Yes, because until you switch off your video here, it won't work over there. So we're really looking forward to this week of activities and reconnection, and we hope that you are as well. The reunion kicks off in earnest tomorrow morning, or actually for some of you, it's already tomorrow morning. So good morning. Please join us where you can, because this reunion we've done a lot of work on it, but it's nothing without you and your involvement. So please join us on campus in Gather at PCUWC to explore and chat. Benoit is going to be hosting a special Pearson College quiz on campus, virtual campus. So see if you can find him or any of us well, I don't know, see if you can find him. He might be near the docks. He might be in the dining room. See where you can find him. And we look forward to chatting with you there, or WhatsApp, or Facebook, or Discord, or in any of the sessions that we have planned this week. Thank you so much for joining us.
One more thing, perhaps, just for about GatherTown. Before you actually join in the first time, you'll be asked to create your own avatar and also to have a short tutorial there. Just go ahead, follow the instructions, and we'll see you there.
So are we all, is basically we're all moving over there now, right? So everybody, we can take questions, but prefer to let's all go to GatherTown now and see you there. And thanks so much to Benoit for having put this together, because it was definitely a lift.
I'll stay until everyone leaves. I won't close the meeting until there's nobody here. So if anybody wants to mingle here for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, sorry to interject. Did you guys send a link to the GatherTown thing?
Link to GatherTown is in the chat. You can also find it on the website.
I'm just going to be adding it to the website. I hadn't actually made it available because it was the big reveal. So I'll be adding it there very soon. But it's in the chat.
But
And we'll put it into Discord
as well. Just
yeah,
a little further up, Meg posted it.
So it really won't work if you're trying to be here and there, because all you will hear is like
Yes.
reverb and echoes. So I'm afraid that now you have to pick your place.
Okay. I'm gonna head off to GatherTown. Thank you soon.
Cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, Mika and Katie. See you this week sometime, hopefully.
Yeah, thanks a lot to you guys. You've done super job setting it all up.
I think we
Yes,
would have
I
rather
agree.
been-
Thank you very much. This is going to be very special, and thanks for that incredible reveal. I do feel like I'm going to get a chance to at least walk through the college today. Thank you.
You can drop into GatherTown anytime, 24/7. It's always open.
Okay, Tanya, I'm going to drop out and then go and join GatherTown.
Yes,
now,
I'll
so-
just wait until everybody leaves.
Super. Okay, thanks.